Okay, now we get to part 4, positioning bases. So let's first look at the difference between differentiation and positioning. Don't confuse the two, okay? The chosen difference is the foundation upon which positioning is built. So differentiation is like the foundation there, you can see the red. It's underneath the ground. It's not usually seen by the customer. What's seen is above the ground, and that is the house. Now the house is like the positioning strategy. It's built on top of the differentiation strategy, on top of the foundation. They work together, but they are different. And before you can build a house, you need to first lay the foundation. Okay, so before we can develop a positioning strategy, we must first find the difference that makes, or the differentiation that makes us different. Okay? So Volvo is well known for safety. Okay? Safety is what makes their vehicle different, but it's also how they position themselves. So what is the difference between the two? Positioning is what you communicate about your product to the market, whereas differentiation is what actually makes your product different. So let's give you this question. If Volvo built the safest car in the world and never ever told the market about it, would their car still be different to others? Would it still be the safest car in the world? Well, yes, of course. Even if no one knows about it, it's still the safest car because they built the safest car. Okay? So it's different to everyone, to all the other cars, but no one knows about it. Therefore, differentiation does not depend on how the product is communicated to the market. You can make a product that's different, but it's not dependent on how you communicate it to the market. Okay? How it's positioned in the minds of consumers. Okay, but now let me say this to you. Let's say there was another car came into the market. Let's say their name was not Volvo, but Ovlo. Okay, let's say the name was Ovlo. Okay, and they came into the market and they communicated to everyone that their car was the safest. Okay, so they built a house and they said this house is the safest. Well, they built a car. But then after a few accidents, many people started to find out, no man, this car is not as safe as what this company said it was. Would safety then still be the differentiating characteristic of the car? If they're saying our car is safe, they're communicating that, but actually people are finding out that it's not safe, would that still be what makes it different? Definitely not. Even if they try and position it in that way. So differentiation does not depend on positioning. Positioning is built on differentiation. You can't tell people that your product is different if it isn't actually different in that way. Well, you can, but eventually they're going to find out that you're lying. Okay? So if a product cannot deliver as the company says it does, then then it is not actually different. Many marketers have said things about products that people eventually find out are not actually true. Okay, so this may work initially, but after a while people will realize that it's not true and then will stop buying the product. So you can build a house, but if it doesn't have a foundation, it's going to fall over. You first need to find a good foundation and then build a house on top of that. Okay? And yes, you can lay a foundation and never build a house on top of it, but then what's the point of the foundation? Right? So you want to have a good differentiation, a good foundation, and you want to have a good positioning strategy. In other words, you want to communicate your product effectively to the market so that they'll come and buy it, i.e. you want to build a good house on top of that foundation. So true business success lies in number 1, finding a difference that people really want. Number 2, making sure that your product is actually different in that way. Number 3, communicating that difference to the market, telling them this is what makes our product different, come and buy it. So here we go. Most successful companies also continue improving their product to make it even more effective in that difference that makes it special. Each year they bring out a new version that is even more faster, safer, etc. So Volvo, if they really are going to focus on this differentiation and continue to position themselves in this way, they're going to make their cars safer and safer every year. Okay?